It relates to social media. I feel like it's a very toxic place. It means that there's something that I don't know what it is and it's like taking up my mind.
أهلا وسهلا بيكي في برنامج طبقات. شرفتينا وآنستين اليوم. معانا الجميلة غايا. How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
الحمد لله. Are you ready for the first طبقة?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, ممتاز. طيب، أنتي مين من غير غايا اللي يعرفوها الناس؟
I like to think of myself as a daughter, a friend, and someone that wants to share her passion through social media and just like through my experiences in life. And yeah.
How do you know your passion?
I feel like it took a while for me to realize what I'm passionate about, and I can't pinpoint exactly what my passion is. And I feel like I'm just passionate about sharing my experiences with people, whether that's like through my food, my vlogs, my whatever it is that I do. I feel like I'm passionate about like sharing a message of being okay with yourself and loving yourself and feeling good in your skin.
Very nice. What drives you to do that? Like you can just not do anything and just do what you're doing, but why do you want to share? What's the message behind it?
I feel like it's deeper than just I want to post on social media because it gets me somewhere. It is more of, it makes me feel productive, separates me and my followers. It makes me feel very productive. Hatta some days I feel like, oh, I don't want to work out. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. And I'm like, no, I need to have content to post. I'm going to do these things and they're going to make me feel better about myself today. So it's more for me than it is for anyone else. But I figured, the way I can motivate myself to keep on doing these things and staying productive and doing all these things that I post is by having a following that's waiting for me to post these things.
Very nice. So basically what you're doing is you're doing it first for yourself.
Yes.
So you're starting from inside to outside, not the opposite. You're not looking for the following. The following is coming as a byproduct.
Exactly.
But you're doing what you're doing because you love to do that and you want to share it. And that keeps you more disciplined and more consistent.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Thanks.
I appreciate the knowledge, and it's very important to work from in to out. So tell us about your day. Like when you start, what pushes you to post, to work out, to do the vlogging? You're a lifestyle vlogger.
Yes.
So what keeps you? What motivates you to do that?
I feel like being in Jeddah, for example, pushes me a lot because I grew up watching these LA vloggers have this healthy life and they go and they have healthy breakfasts and just romanticizing their life. And I always, I grew up watching these things. That's all I watched when I was a kid. And when I came to a point where I was looking for people like that on TikTok, which is my main social media platform, I couldn't find these people that I could somewhat relate to because they all lived in LA and they all lived in New York. And I'm like, okay, fine, I can get inspired, but how much can I actually relate to that? And I realized that people here don't have that sort of person on social media that can romanticize a city and make it relatable somehow. So I was like, honestly, Jeddah is a beautiful city.
Amazing.
There's so much to show. There's so many things to do. And I don't want to fall into the trap of, oh, I'm back home taking a gap year. وخلاص ما حسوي شيء. I'm in the comfort of my own home. I don't want to do that عشان it's going to take back from everything that I've been working towards for the past, I don't know how many years I was abroad. And I don't want to fall into that trap of being in my comfort at home. So I was like, I'm just going to have to post on social media as my diary so I can keep myself accountable. And then people just tagged along. My day just consists of workouts, eating healthy.
How many times do you work out a day?
I work out, more how many times. I am very active, so I have one workout a day. And then I try to do a bit of cardio. I walk. Then I do an activity. Maybe I play tennis or I do some sort of activity.
So you're just moving.
Yeah,
Go.
but I don't feel the need to. يعني طبعا there's days where I just don't want to do anything and it's fine. And
You
I
push
post
yourself?
about it. لا, I post before. I used to really. I was so like كده ماسكة نفسي like as if I had to do something every day. But now I'm like understanding. Like if I don't want to do anything today, I'll be like, guys, I had a really slow day, and this is just the reality of things, you know.
Okay. So what you're doing is you're using everything that's available to you, and you're channeling your energy into it to create something that's beneficial for you and others.
Exactly, yeah.
And is that something you always try to improve, or you feel like you're just doing what you're doing as a routine on a daily basis?
No, there's طبعا a lot of things that I want to improve, and I try to I watch my videos. Like I will watch my videos as if I'd never seen them before. Well, I always think, you know, how can I improve not the video, my daily routine? And no, I could have done more work today, like answering emails or whatever it is. Or, oh, today I could have stayed at home more than just spent the whole day out. Because I do spend a lot of time out. And the days where I stay at home and when I feature it in my vlogs, it feels more serene and more calm and more relatable to some people. Or I just watch that and I'm like, I should do more of that. So I kind of, there's always room for improvement. And I'm always looking for that improvement that I can implement in my life.
Okay. But do you listen to your intuition?
Yes.
And you sit at home if you feel like you want to sit at home?
Yes.
Or you're always in tune with you listen to how you feel all the time. You respect that. You like
Yes. Yes.
Okay, that's good. That's good. You move in your day through a feeling. Like a feeling pulls you to your next action more than you think about it all the time.
Yeah, I would say for the most part إنه من بعد الظهر يعني. For the morning part, I have a strict routine that has just become like a part of my day. If I don't have this routine, I don't feel like I can go on with my day.
Okay. So
I'm more in tune with myself post 12 p.m.
Okay.
Before that, I'm on autopilot, like I'm just doing my things,
but
you know?
These rituals you do, which is what?
Like waking up and just before it starts from the moment I step out of my bed, I get out from the right side. Like I'm very precise about getting out from the right side.
Why?
I don't know. It's very weird. I can't not get up from the right side.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe the right side gives you a right day.
Yeah. I get up from the right side and I drink a lot of water. But then I go to my workout. I have my coffee. I go to my workouts. And then I come back home. I go get my other It's just a big routine that I can't mess up, you know?
Okay.
It's very specific. It's weird.
Because they say the first hour of the day, you win the day if you play it right. And a lot of people mislead that by taking their phone and doing other stuff that is not for themselves, for others, and they get trapped into not having enough time to do what they want to do.
Right.
Okay. Very nice. How did your childhood affect who you are today?
I feel like my childhood was very much me being exposed to different things and just trying to figure out what's right for me and what's wrong for me. And I think I had a a big support system. My parents who were always pushing me to try things, pushing me to do this, pushing me to do that. And I truly learned what I liked from what I hated at such a young age. And I feel like my awareness was really like the most important thing in my childhood was that I had to be aware of my surroundings. And I feel like growing up in Jeddah also pushes that. Like you have to be aware of what you're doing. You can't just go crazy sometimes, you know? So I really feel like it allowed me to like know how to be. Like it's like a rule book, but it's not.
Okay.
Yeah.
And who was your father more disciplined or your mom?
I think both, but Depends with what. I feel like my dad was more school and my mom was more like my life.
Okay.
Yeah.
And one thing you learned from your mom that you like?
Her free spirit.
All right.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I like
and
that.
your dad?
Discipline.
Okay. It's a good combination.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're open to learn,
Yeah.
but you're disciplined about the things you have to do.
Yeah.
That's lovely. Okay. Under now the vision of 2030, a lot of people are having a lot of opportunities in different sectors. Do you feel like under this time, do you have more opportunity as Gaia and in Jeddah?
Yes.
How?
In the life of a vlogger, in social media specifically for me, there's so much you can like use and like leverage from that it's actually like there's so many opportunities in the sense of, again, there was never that figure on social media that like younger people can relate to and like kind of like look up to. And there's also just so many things happening and so many new things like the Grand Prix, Formula One, like so many things that you can use and just kind of appreciate, like so many things, Middle Beast, Red Sea Film Fest, like things that if I was 12 years old and you came up to me and you told me, Gaia, this, that is going to happen, I would have been like, no, I don't think so. I am truly shocked and impressed. And I feel like I'm constantly living in this state of, wow, what's happening? And I love it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And people like older generations follow you too.
Yeah, but I have a lot of like 13-year-olds.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a lot of 13.
Gen Z.
Yeah.
Okay. It's nice. It's nice to be living in this time.
Yeah.
And as you say, there's a lot of opportunities and creativity is flowing everywhere now. If you want anything, you can find it.
Exactly.
That's very good. What do you think the main problems that Gen Z are facing today?
It relates to social media. I feel like it's a very toxic place. And
can you tell us how?
Yeah. But I feel like things have become less censored and people can talk about whatever it is or whatever they want. And a lot of videos come up and I'm like, if I was 12 and I saw this, I would get affected, whether it's about body image, whether it's about someone's like how much food they eat. And usually the people that I personally post what I eat in a day, but whenever I post them, it's like healthy meals.
Yes.
But some people post, I'm like, they're having like almonds and that's it. And then I feel like there's just this big cancel culture that's like eating people up alive.
Okay.
And it's like, it can be very toxic.
What feelings do you think that these kids are feeling?
I feel like it's a feeling of constantly having to prove themselves.
They're not enough.
Yeah, because of what they see on social media, because of the things that they're being exposed to, whether it's subconscious or conscious, you never know. Because you can see something and you don't think about it. And then later down the line, it's been living in your subconscious mind.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and sometimes for the people that do post, there's a lot of hate. And people on the internet have no shame. They're going to say whatever they want to say.
Because there's no eye connection. There's no human interaction. They're just throwing words there.
So I feel like social media makes it very hard. And rumors spread like in the blink of an eye. Like things spread so quickly.
So it's it's bullying.
Yeah, fully. And also just like sometimes people post these things that are not realistic. And other people wouldn't understand that it's not realistic. So they're going to beat themselves up until it becomes the reality. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So from what I understand and what I see with Gen Z specifically is that their lives now mainly is behind the screen.
Yeah.
And not everyone, but most of them.
True.
And with not having human interaction and being secluded and being distant from interactions, that causes a lot of depression and causes a lot of, and on top of that, being bullied. It's a tough time to be. So how can you restrict or minimize that?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's really hard. And
like, let's say if you were the owner of one of these platforms, what health conscious thing you would do to put awareness and control that?
I mean, I know that there's like an age limit to be on TikTok.
Okay.
But like, I would just press the minimum age requirement if I was 12, you know?
Okay.
So I don't really know how else you can kind of censor things and maybe have a censor for bad words. Like I know, so I get a lot of hate, a lot.
How do you deal with it?
I love it.
Oh.
I feed off of it. The second I received hate on one video, I was like, I did something and I'm going to catch on to what I did because it's working. With the haters, there's going to be people that are going to like you and they're going to follow you. Regardless, it's interaction. And that's what I need. Because at this point, that's when it becomes business and marketing. It's more than me just posting my life. But I would censor bad words. And I know for a fact, some platforms, you can comment whatever it is that you want. Really. The most disgusting thing you can think about can be commented and not censored. For me as a creator on my platform, I've censored bad words not because of me.
Can you do that?
Yeah. So I went in my settings and I wrote down every bad word I can think of. And I pressed whenever these comments come up, actively allow comment requests or something. And I can go through them and I can choose which ones I want to appear on my page or not. And I don't do that because of myself, but I do that because of the kids that I know follow me.
Okay.
I could care less if someone comes up first of all, none of these people that comment these comments will have the audacity to come up to me and say all these things to my face.
Yeah.
So, and if they do, I will literally give them a round of applause because they have a lot of confidence.
Because it's saying if you don't have my number, it says, so you shouldn't have a problem with me. And if a lot of people are just sending these hate messages without even knowing you. Mm-hmm. That's something that's happening now. And the dopamine hit that kids are addicted to now, with the scroll and the loading, and it causes a dopamine hit. It's considered as kind of addiction. How do you wear them off? Because as parents or as adults, you can't just keep on interacting all day with your kid. You have to give them some time to figure out what they want to do. Mm-hmm. But they always go back to their phone. It's like a cycle that's going on and on and on and on. I think, what do you think with that? Do you think like putting some hours a day for the phone?
Yeah, would
help?
Yeah, like screen time limit.
Okay.
For sure. And I saw something online that was like, this girl stopped listening to music throughout the day. And she only listens to music when she's at the gym because she gets a dopamine hit whenever she hears music. So that sense of dopamine hit will be related to her going to the gym. So كل يوم she wants to go to the gym عشان يطلع لها dopamine hit.
Okay.
So I feel like maybe you can associate that dopamine hit from scrolling to like another fun activity. Okay. Using your phone for this long and then another fun thing will come up.
So I feel like when all of the hate messages you're getting, you're using it to empower you. You're changing it from something toxic to something that's accelerating your path. Mm-hmm. So what is that mental state or that way of thinking that you're doing that's making you take life from that angle?
I really had to like sit down and like think of what my goal was with social media. And I realized that my goal was far ahead. And my way to get it there was to face my ego, face the hate, face all these things. And beginning of this year, January 2023, I was like, I'm going to get to my goal and I don't care what it's going to take. And it took me going through the hate comments and I'm happy. Like it's what I want. There's no, like if I'm going to let other people's opinions stand in the way of what I want to do, then I'm going to live in their shadow for the rest of my life. I can't. It's my life. I have to be selfish sometimes. And yeah.
Do you have emotions that take over you, like anger or different emotions that control you? And how do you diffuse it?
I wouldn't say like anger. I would say
self-guilt maybe, or
I want to be in control of everything. Sometimes when I'm not in control of everything, I freak out a bit.
So is that coming out from fear?
Yeah, but it's not like the sense of fear that everyone knows, like I'm scared, you know.
I know what you mean. It's just you want to control things to be sure that you're on top of what you're doing and there's nothing bad can happen.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did you ever face that feeling in a more vulnerable way and deal with it by staying with it?
Yeah.
Or do you ignore it?
No, I ignore it a lot, but I feel like change really triggers that for me inside. Like it triggers it. It really triggers it. And I feel like COVID, for example, is the perfect example of everything. And at that point, I was like, there's literally nothing I can do.
How was it?
Like COVID?
Yeah.
I was in my sophomore year of college and I was having the time of my life.
Okay.
Having the time of my life, and all of a sudden this happens and I was like, now what? And I really thought it was the end of the world, but then I just surrendered. I was like, literally, there's nothing I can do.
Okay.
But yeah.
Very good point. So surrendering sometimes and leaving some problems we have in life by surrendering to it, not numbing or repressing or doing something else to not focus on it, surrendering to it, knowing it's there, and just be okay with it, heals it sometimes. And you get the best out of it. That's a very important point. Yeah. Thank you for bringing that up. It's a constant journey, and we always have different emotions and obstacles that will come. Some of them we face, we take, we fix, we move on. Some of them we accept, we surrender to, then we move on. On another, you're ready to go to another tabaga?
Yes.
Okay. Something about you that people love about you, or you love about yourself.
That I love about myself?
Yeah, or people love about you. They always tell you that we love this thing about you.
My friends say my energy, but I will say how, like, again, disciplined I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you push them? You're the motivator?
I am. Okay. It sometimes depends.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you ever thought to be go into sports and train people?
I had that phase in my life where I was like, I might want to train and be an instructor, but it just didn't. Now I don't see it anymore.
You found yourself now with the vlogging.
Yeah.
Okay, something you don't like about yourself and you want to change.
I guess this, sometimes this toxic positivity that like eats me up. And I'm like, I need to like accept emotions for like 5 seconds. Like it's normal. I guess that, like being more in tune with my emotions, because constantly being on the go sometimes is not good.
Do you cry?
Sometimes.
If what happens?
I don't know. Like really depends.
Did you cry recently?
I cried before yesterday, but it was like
okay.
Like the food that I ordered didn't arrive. It was something like that. It was something like, I cry over stuff like this, you know, like.
Okay.
Like random things. Okay. You know?
I get food is an important thing.
Yeah. And like, you know, when you're very excited for something and it just doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, babies, they cry when small things happen and they let it out. And they laugh a second after.
Right.
And that's how they are so stress-free and disease-free. They're always at ease. So it's very important to show it's okay to cry about wrong food or
about anything
else that you had in mind or you wanted, and you didn't get it the way you did, but it's very important also to snap out of it and move on.
I did snap out of it. It was fine.
Okay, good.
But no, yeah.
Okay. So one thing you want to change about yourself is being with your emotions.
Yeah.
Okay. So how are you feeling today?
Good.
Okay. Emotions are good?
Yes.
Okay. Anything hiding?
No.
Okay. What can you do to increase that awareness within to accept your emotions and not give it your back?
I started journaling. I used to do that a lot. And I just stopped. I was very like in tune with my emotions during COVID, and then just stopped all of a sudden. So now I'm getting back into it, and I've been loving it. Like,
can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, it's like when you actually write, not type on your phone. When you actually write down, you think you're going to be writing a sentence, you end up writing a page about how you feel about what I did today, what I wish I did today. And it's really like, it frees my mind and my energy. It really helps me just figure things out. And also just like writing things down in my head is a form of like actualizing and giving, whether it's my feelings, well, a to-do list that I had to do or something, it gives it importance and relevance. So it makes things very easy for me.
Very nice.
To like grasp and yeah.
Very nice. And what do you mostly write? How do you start? Or you just put the pen on the paper and you start writing? And when do you do it? Morning, night?
Recently I've been doing it at night, honestly, because it's like easier. I feel like it's my way to like empty out my battery and then go to sleep.
Very good.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and I just honestly, I start by writing. First, I start by writing what I have to do tomorrow. And then just to get that out of my head. And then I focus on today and what actually happened. And I like think about like how I felt when this happened or that happened or
Does things
anything.
come up?
Yeah. Like during my workouts, for me, sometimes I feel like I'm not focused and I feel like I'm just working out, and I hate that feeling. I feel like I'm not present, and that's a big problem for me. Feeling not present means that there's something that I don't know what it is, and it's like taking up my mind. And sometimes you really can't know what it is until I like sit and I'm like what happened? Like, where did I go wrong today? Or like, not go wrong. That's like a bad way to say it, but like,
yeah, I know
what happened, you know?
Speaking of that, it's very interesting, very important point, because in the first 7 years of life, you create something called the emotional body, where you feel things and you attract, when you grow up, you attract things or you feel such specific feelings because of those 7 years. And of course, after these 7 years, things happen too, and they also affect how you feel. Also, I'm not saying only, but you create your emotional body in the first 7 years. And like you said, sometimes we feel feelings, we don't know why they came up, but I feel like we spoke earlier, accepting and surrendering to it, writing it down, crying if you need to, being okay about it will heal it. And it's called emotional integration or digestion. And sometimes this is the only way to heal it. So journaling is very important. I do it too. They say the subconscious mind opens twice a day. The minute you wake up, like a sponge, and before you sleep when your willpower goes down. That's why we're cranky at night and we're sensitive in the morning. So I do it morning. I like to do it in the morning, but I encourage everyone to do it. It's very healthy. Do you feel everywhere you go to is your home?
I feel like I have different homes at different state of life.
Okay.
But I feel like, I have one home.
One home.
Yeah.
Okay. Very nice. And I see you speak about Jeddah and you speak about here. You love it so much.
Yeah.
And I feel like, you make me feel like Jeddah is becoming very cool and very hip, and there's a lot of places to go to. I should go to some of the places you recommend because it looks very healthy and very delicious at the same time. You ready for another tabaga?
Yes.
Okay. We want a tabaga from Tabagat Gaia that nobody knows.
That nobody knows?
Nobody knows.
That's really hard. Oh no, I'm trying to think.
It can be anything. There's no specific
Right.
direction to this question. You can just answer whatever you feel. Something nobody knows, a layer that nobody knows. And of course, it's okay to share if you want to share it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think, honestly.
Okay. I'm sure there's something.
This is very hard for someone that like puts their whole life on social media.
Okay.
It's really hard.
Okay. You feel like you put everything on social
Not
media?
everything.
What don't you?
My family.
Okay.
But like,
Can tell us something about your family that nobody knows.
this is actually a hard question. I think this is the hardest question ever.
Okay.
For the longest time, I felt like I wasn't connected to my parents.
Okay.
Not connected, no. Like that...
Misunderstood?
Not misunderstood, that we were so far off because I went to boarding school at such a young age. Even with my brothers, for example, I felt so like a big disconnect, you know? I had to always like deal with things alone or like make decisions for myself at like 14. And looking back now, I'm like scared of the person I used to be. Like, how did she have that much in her to like do all these things? And when I came back here to like during COVID to like live with my parents, I was like, this is the first time I've ever actually lived with my family since I was like 13, 14. So that whole year of being here took a lot in me to like manage living with your parents and living with people after you've lived alone for so long. It was really tough, I guess.
Okay. What did you face? What obstacles did you face and how did you deal with it? Or something maybe changed within you?
Yeah, I guess I started thinking more about my actions and how it would make other people feel, whether it's my parents or my friends or whatever. I feel like before I was very much living for myself and very much not aware of what I can say and what I can do and if it's going to hurt someone or if I put this here and it's supposed to be here. It's something really basic, but I didn't realize how I was living in like complete like in a bubble of my own. So I had to expand that bubble and just be like, okay, like now I have like a family, you know, like I have to be aware and considerate of what I do and what I say and what I can do and what I can't say.
Okay. So you put yourself in their shoes.
Yeah.
Feel others.
Yeah. And I feel like it all changed when I like came back for COVID and I was with my family again. And yeah.
Okay. So it's kind of being more aware of other people's feelings. And I think that's very important because, you know, in other scenarios in life, you know, it's very good to listen to people when they speak and be close to them in that way. If you're going to talk to someone, just be fully present with them and listen to what they have to say. Because one day you will want to say something to someone and you want to be listened to. So I feel like that's very important, very mature. And I wish some people, everyone, have that thing within them because it's emotionally healthy and very kind.
All right.
Okay, one thing I want to ask you, and I've been realizing recently, a lot of Gen Zs, they love eating out.
Yeah.
And there's a study that tells you that the rate of the new generation loving to eat from fast food chains. What do you think is the reason, and how can we shed awareness to have some of your home food?
I eat out a lot. I don't know, because I don't know. I have to like, if I was still in school and living here, I would eat at home. Do you know what I mean? But I feel like personally for me, it's just convenient. Sometimes I'm next to this place, I'll just go there, you know? But I feel like because social media always shows, it always shows like the restaurants and rarely ever home cooked foods.
So they connect to it. That's an interesting
thing. I don't know. Like I'm thinking back to like what I see.
Yeah. Like social media really affects us.
It really does.
And it keeps images in your head. So when you see like all of these burgers and all of these like cheese and pizzas and things, you really want to try these things out. And people who have restaurants are matching that. So they want to sell, obviously. And it's a cycle.
I feel like now with influencer marketing, it's becoming so like It's everywhere. It's like the restaurants, they know what they're doing. Having this person come and eat this burger and this person eating this thing. Like they're smart because they know that the kids are going to be like, no, I want to go there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But honestly, that's like a really good thing. I'm going to like stop eating out a lot because now I'm thinking that I do eat out a lot.
Good. Any message to, like, how can we shed more awareness for them to eat at home? I'm sure if people watch you saying this, it's good. They're going to eat at home.
It's way healthier, and you're not going to have home-cooked food for the whole entire rest of your life. You're going to be eating out a lot in university, whenever. So really just like, I feel like people should really just cherish home-cooked food a lot. And I love my mom's cooking. Feel like people should like find like the comfort in home-cooked food. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Very good, very good. One feeling that makes you get out of bed and want to do your best.
Just like envisioning like my goal. Okay. That, I don't know what that feeling is. I feel like it's motivation. It's...
You want to give back?
Yeah. It's like giving, like want to give back and want to prove to myself that I can do it. Good. You know?
Okay, speaking of that, I want one advice or something you can share with this coming generation that you feel will help them find that push in life.
If you want to do something, literally just literally just do it. But it really, like, sit down and like think of, is that really what you want? Because whatever it is that you want, whether you want to be a doctor, whether you want to be a designer or whatever it is, it's gonna take people coming up to you and telling you, no, you shouldn't do this, no, you shouldn't do that, no, there's something better. But if you have that in you and you feel that, no, this is genuinely what I'm gonna do, and you will know when that feeling comes, you have to just literally just go ahead and do it. Do whatever it takes to do it. And you only, this is so like cringy what I'm saying. You only live once, but you really do. And you can't live for others your whole life. You have to live for yourself. Think of yourself. Like sometimes genuinely be selfish. You have to think of yourself. As long as it doesn't harm others.
Beautiful. Yeah. That's a beautiful message. I hope everyone who's watching and these generations to come to get the benefits out of this and to implement them in their lives. And I would love to thank you from the bottom of my heart for the knowledge that you spread. And I hope you an amazing career, an amazing life. Again, thank you very much for your time and for your presence today with us on Tabagat.
Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you.